There was a clear blue winter sky. Miffy was sleeping in her warm, cosy bed. When at last the sun began to rise, Miffy was awakened by the sound of a chirping bird just outside her window. "What a beautiful song that bird has," thought Miffy. "She must be very happy. She can see the beautiful snow-covered meadow. I would like to be out there too." So Miffy quickly got dressed in her warm coat and her warm scarf and went outside in the crisp white snow. The bird was still there, right in Miffy's garden. "What a happy bird," thought Miffy again, and she went to get her sledge. She gave her sledge a little push and jumped onto it. It was such a nice feeling to be sliding over the smooth white snow. Miffy still heard the bird cheeping, just as loudly as ever, and when she looked back, she saw that the bird was hopping after her. "The little bird loves the snow too," thought Miffy. "She's hopping along with me." But now Miffy had to turn her sledge around and pull it back to her house. She hadn't had her breakfast yet. And even as she did that, the little bird also turned around and hopped after her. "That little bird must really like me," thought Miffy. "She wants to follow me and sing for me wherever I go." Then Miffy's mother called out, "Quickly, Miffy, you don't have time to play in the snow before school. Come in and eat your breakfast." When Miffy had finished her breakfast, the little bird was still there, sitting on the windowsill. And as Miffy walked to school, the little bird followed her again, all the way to the school. "Do you want to go to school, little bird?" asked Miffy. "You already know how to sing." Miffy thought it was funny that the little bird followed her everywhere, always singing. Even as she sat in her classroom, the little bird sat outside the window. When it was time for break, all of the children went out to play in the snow, and they were all delighted to see the little bird hopping all around them. Melanie said, "I think that little bird is trying to tell us something, Miffy." "Yes," said Miffy. "She's been chirping and following me all morning." "Maybe she is hungry, Miffy," said Melanie. "Oh dear," said Miffy. "I didn't think of that. The snow has covered the grass and there is nothing outside for a bird to eat." Miffy felt bad. "Oh, I am silly," she said. "I should have known the bird was hungry." She ran inside and brought out the little paper bag with her lunch in it. She took out a nice piece of brown bread and spread some crumbs on top of the snow. The little bird immediately jumped over to the crumbs and ate every one of them. Then she flapped her wings and flew off. The next morning when Miffy woke up, the little bird was there again. This time, Miffy knew just what to do. Miffy's favourite toy was her yellow teddy bear that she always took to bed. One morning she awoke and couldn't find her teddy bear. It wasn't under her blanket where it should be, so she looked under her bed, and there it was. "You're such a grown-up teddy bear," said Miffy. "I think you should have your own bed so you can't fall out. I'll ask my good friend Boris Bear to make a bed for you. We shall go and visit him." So Miffy carried her teddy, and together with Snuffy, she walked through the forest to Boris's house. "Hello, Miffy. Hello, Snuffy," said Boris. "I'm always so happy to see you both, and I see that you have another friend with you. It's my very own teddy bear, and he needs his own bed. Last night he fell out of my bed. It's too big for him." "Of course," said Boris. "He must have his own bed. I will make one for him in my workshop." Boris then started to make a little bed for Miffy's teddy bear. Miffy helped by handing Boris the tools when he called for them. And even Snuffy helped by fetching the pieces of wood. Soon the little bed was finished. "It's a lovely bed, Boris," said Miffy. "Thank you very much for making it for my teddy." It had been a lot of work, and Miffy was tired. Just then she heard... It was Father Bunny. Barbara had telephoned him and asked him to come and collect Miffy and Snuffy. "Look, Father," called Miffy. "Here is a lovely bed that Boris made for my teddy." "Boris is so clever," said Father Bunny. "Did you remember to thank him?" "Oh, yes," said Boris. "Miffy thanked me very politely. It was a pleasure to make the little bed for her." Then it was time to ride home in Father Bunny's car. Father carefully put the bed on the back seat of the car and laid Teddy Bear in it. Snuffy jumped next to it, and Miffy got into the car as well. They waved goodbye to Boris and Barbara and set off for home. Miffy was very tired after such an exciting day and such hard work. Soon she fell fast asleep, even though the road was very bumpy. When they drove around a corner, the wheels of the car hit a big bump, and the teddy bear flew right out of the car. Miffy was asleep, and her father was busy driving. He didn't even see that the teddy bear was gone. When they arrived at their house, Snuffy jumped out of the car and ran away. Miffy looked on the back seat and saw that the little bed was empty. Where was her teddy bear? She began to cry. "Oh dear, Teddy Bear is lost in the forest. I'll never see him again." "I think it will be very difficult to find your teddy bear in the big forest." "And where is Snuffy? She has also gone," said Miffy. Suddenly they heard the sound of barking. They looked back and saw Snuffy come running out of the forest. "Look, Miffy," shouted Father happily. "Snuffy has found your teddy bear." How happy Miffy was. She patted Snuffy. "You are such a good dog. I am happy to have you as a faithful friend." One beautiful summer day, Boris Bear was making a circle with some stones. He was building a fire because he wanted to surprise Barbara with a nice picnic on the hill. When the stones were ready, he went into the forest to find some wood to burn in the fire. At the same time, at Poppy's place, Poppy was saying to her niece Grunty, "This is such a lovely day. Why don't we go to the hill and have a picnic?" "That's a good idea," said Grunty. "Let's bring lots of carrots." Meanwhile, Mother and Father Bunny were having the very same idea. "This is such a splendid day," said Miffy's mother. "We can all go to the hillside for a picnic." "Oh, wonderful," said Miffy. "I love picnics. Shall we invite Auntie Alice?" "Yes, we will," said Father Bunny. "And Auntie Alice always makes such delicious cakes and biscuits." So all the friends were getting ready for a picnic, but none of them knew that the others were doing the same thing. Boris returned from the forest, his arms full of wood, and placed it all inside the circle of stones. "Before I start the fire, I will go and get Barbara," he thought. "She will be surprised when I invite her to a picnic." As Boris left, Poppy and Grunty came walking up the hill. looking for a good place to have their picnic. "Look," said Grunty. "Here is a good place. A fire has already been prepared here. Can we use it?" "I'm not sure we can use this campfire, Grunty," said Poppy. "Someone else has prepared it, not us." But just then she saw Miffy and her parents coming up the hill, carrying a large picnic basket. "Look," said Poppy. "Even Auntie Alice and Snuffy are here. They must have prepared this campfire." "Oh, look," said Mother Bunny. "Poppy and Grunty are here too, and they have prepared a perfect place for a fire." "May we join you?" asked Miffy. "Certainly," said Poppy. "After all, this is your campfire." "No, no," said Father Bunny. "It's not ours." "Then who made it?" asked Poppy. Meanwhile, Boris arrived home. He had secretly prepared a delicious picnic earlier in the morning, and he had hidden the picnic basket in his workshop. Now he came back to collect it. "Barbara, I have a surprise for you." "A picnic! Come with me." So Boris and Barbara walked up the hill. They heard lots of voices. "What a lovely surprise you have made for me, Boris," said Barbara. "You've invited all of our friends to have a picnic on this lovely day." Boris just smiled and said, "Welcome everybody to our picnic. I will now start the fire." "Aha," said Father Bunny. "Aha," said Poppy. "Aha," said Miffy. "It was you, Boris, who prepared the campfire," said Auntie Alice. "Be careful when you light the fire." Boris just smiled again. And they all joined together around the blazing fire and enjoyed a wonderful picnic on a wonderful day. Poppy Pig was passing by Miffy's house, pulling a cart carrying a large Christmas tree in a pot. "Good morning, Poppy," said Miffy. "Where did you get that beautiful tree?" "Boris gave it to me, Miffy," said Poppy. "Christmas is coming, and I asked him if he could find me a nice tree." "What a good idea," thought Miffy. "We will also need a Christmas tree." Miffy went inside and asked her mother, "May I go into the forest to ask Boris Bear to find us a Christmas tree?" "Yes, Miffy, but you must be home in time for lunch." So off she went, across the meadow and into the forest. When she arrived at Boris and Barbara's house, they were already decorating their own tree for Christmas. "Hello, Boris," said Miffy, "and a Merry Christmas to you and Barbara. I would like to ask you if you can find a nice Christmas tree for our family." "Yes, I can," said Boris. "But you know I mustn't cut down a forest tree. I can dig one up for you and then put it in a pot so the tree can stay alive for next year." So they went into the forest and they saw many beautiful trees. Miffy saw one that was especially beautiful. "But I think that one is too big to put inside our house." "Well, what about that charming little one over there?" "Oh, that one is too small. All our Christmas tree decorations won't fit on such a tiny tree." Then Boris pointed to a medium-sized tree. "Do you think this one will do?" he asked. "Yes," said Miffy. "That's a lovely one. Can you dig that one up for me, please?" So Boris dug up the tree, being very careful not to damage its roots. "I will bring it to your house tomorrow." Miffy was home just in time for lunch, and she told her mother about the lovely tree that Boris was going to bring them. The next evening, Miffy and her mother and her father were busy decorating the tree. It looked so beautiful and even had flashing lights. In the morning, Miffy was on her way to school and little Snuffy was running along with her. When they arrived at the school, there was Boris with a very big tree for the schoolyard. "Hello, Miffy," said Boris. "This is the tree that you said was too big for your house, but I thought it would be just perfect for your school." The school teacher and all the children were very pleased to have such a wonderful tree for their school. All the children were soon at work, making decorations for their new tree. It was going to be so beautiful. Then Boris knocked on the window. "I have another surprise for you, Miffy. I also brought the tiny tree. I think it will be perfect for Snuffy." "How wonderful," said Miffy. "Snuffy's own special Christmas tree to put near her doghouse." All the school children were happy with their big tree. At Christmas, Miffy and her parents were happy with their medium-sized tree. And little Snuffy was very, very happy with her very own tiny tree. One bright summer morning, Miffy was ready to go to school, so she went out to get her scooter. She was very surprised to see that her scooter had turned yellow. "That's very strange," thought Miffy. "I thought my scooter was red." She walked around the scooter. There was nothing remarkable to see, except for the changed colour. Miffy carefully touched the frame to see whether the yellow colour might have been painted on, but it hadn't. She ran back into the house. "Mother," she asked, "can a scooter change colour overnight?" "I don't think so, Miffy," said her mother. "But yesterday my scooter was red, and today it's yellow," said Miffy. "There must be a reason for that, Miffy," said her mother. "Best to take the yellow scooter to school now, and we will solve the puzzle later." So Miffy went to school on the yellow scooter. She was very puzzled. How could this have happened? She wondered. All day she wondered about what had happened to her red scooter, and she couldn't concentrate on her lessons. When class was over, Miffy came out of school with her friend Melanie and looked at the other children's scooters. There was a blue scooter. There was a green scooter. There was a brown scooter, and there were 2 yellow scooters. But there was no red scooter. "Well," said Miffy, "I still have to solve the mystery." Melanie was surprised too. "I thought you had a red scooter, Miffy," she said. "So did I," said Miffy. "But when I woke up this morning, my red scooter had changed into yellow, just like magic." "Would you like to ride home with me, Melanie? Maybe you can help me find out what happened." Melanie got on her blue scooter, and the 2 girls rode to Miffy's house. There they saw a bright red scooter right in front of the house. Miffy was surprised. "How can I have 2 scooters?" she wondered. Just then Miffy's father came out of the house. "Hello, girls. I'm glad you came straight home from school. The yellow scooter must be returned to Grunty." "Grunty?" said Miffy. "Yes, your scooter needed new wheels, Miffy. I asked Poppy Pig if we could borrow Grunty's scooter for 1 day. I took your scooter to Grandfather's workshop. He fixed it this morning. But I promised Poppy to return Grunty's scooter today." "So that That explains the mystery, said Miffy. Let's go visit Poppy and Grunty to return the yellow scooter, and we can bring them some nice fresh carrots from our garden as a present. That's a good idea, said her father. Miffy and Melanie collected a basket full of carrots. While they were collecting carrots, Miffy said to Melanie, "Sometimes there is mystery in nature as well, like these green leaves. They are actually orange carrots." They all had to laugh. And then they set off to Poppy's house.
Miffy, 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 run! With her friends she's having fun. Snuffy, Grunty, Boris Bear, Poppy Pig